If you're not an electrician or don't feel comfortable working with electricity, maybe you should call a professional. Here's a video about changing a pendant light. Nice light. I already did one, and I'm about to do these two right here. And I'm also gonna do that ceiling fan as well. And there's the ceiling fan. But I'm just gonna record it and, show you how I wire them up. I'm gonna take these ones down. So the way you do them is there's screws on each side, and I'll show you the inside because they're all different. But these are screws on the inside to the brackets screwed to the ceiling. And that's screwed, the brackets are like this a little bit, and it's screwed into the bracket. So I'll show you after I take it down and unwire it. So I took it down. I just wanted to show you what was up there. That's how it is. I'll take them two screws, this two silver screws. See, the ground isn't even hooked up. And I don't know if there's a ground, but because if the ground is hooked up, you don't have to connect it to the screw because the box itself isn't metal. That's a requirement if the box is metal, but that's what it is. The screws on the side. And I did this one as well, but I should have took this glass dome off. But the same as anything else, you take these, unscrew these, unscrew that, and then the glass just pops off. But it might not. Well, the bulb is small enough to where the glass can just come off, and that way when you're unhooking it, you don't have a dead weight. So I took this off. So not only did it have the lip right here that it would screw in and be on with the lip, but I took all the screws out and it wasn't coming out, and I was thinking, what the heck? But some of them, you see them threads right there? This goes on, it goes in that, and then this thing right here threads on it. So it's kind of screwed in as well as screwed in with the screws. And I was like thinking, like pulling it off, don't yank it off or break nothing, risk scratching yourself. Take your time and figure it out. And I unscrewed this and came right off. So this one comes with a regular old cord, These ones come with poles, so I have to run the wires through the poles. But then, see, they're twisty, so you can twist it together, like so, And then, here's the top. So, you can twist it on here like that, and obviously when you hang it up, it straightens out like this. And that goes on there like that. Then this goes on there like this. Just make sure all the threads, there's threads somewhere, female and male. But see this right here, because that goes into here like that, and then these balls go on and kind of make it tight. So a way to kind of figure this out is you want it flat like that. So you want to make sure that the screws go in the holes evenly, like this, because it's flat, right? That's how it's going to be on a ceiling. So you want to make sure that the screws are going to go on and it's not going to exceed, and it's not going to back up. You know what I mean? You want to make sure it's a tight fit. So let me see if I can get it clearer. No, it's clear enough. But you want to make sure, see how that kind of runs lower than it is? So let me show you something. This is kind of like a locking bolt. So if you want to kind of unlock that, unlock it enough and make sure you have enough to kind of like half of that. That way you can make it as tight as you want. And then you want to just thread the screw. And it'll kind of have it backed up a little bit. But be careful, because some of the times, see how the circle is going to be bigger, or maybe it's the same size. I got to get up there and do it. But see, the purpose for this bolt right here, like sometimes when you have something and you're fixing something, I put an extra bolt, so I have 2 bolts there, because the first bolt kind of keeps it from getting loose, and the second bolt keeps the first bolt from getting loose, and it's really tight. So that's kind of like a trick to another job that you might do in the future. So earlier when I was talking about these nuts, I kind of keep it like that, because when you're tightening up the ball on here, and it gets real tight, it kind of turns the whole screw. And then if it's loose on the top, you can kind of cut that slack by squeezing it a little tighter, and the screw will go up. So I don't use the locking nut. I just figured that out. And I'm just gonna wire it up, and I'll show you the finished product. Black goes to black, white goes to white, and bare copper goes to bare copper. I'll take a picture of it. But yeah, I'll knock it out. So before I put it up, I run the wire through the pipe. And then you gotta run the wire through this thing, and it comes out here. Now the ground for this and this, because it's a plastic box, so it doesn't need to be grounded, but what you wanna do, because this isn't grounded, so the whole thing's metal, so if anything happens, it's gonna go to the, I'm gonna ground it anyway, just because I like to do that. And yeah, I just like to be safe. This wasn't grounded, the previous one, but I had a ground wire on it. See, the green is the old light, the green ground wire, so it was grounded to the actual wire. But I'm gonna ground this to the box just because it's there, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. But let me feed it through and do everything. And I'm gonna cut this wire a little shorter, so I'm not stuffing a lot of crap in here, and I can actually get them holes to come through. So I got this type of wire. What I like to do is split it in 2 and twist it. That way it's kind of like a solid wire. Like this. Obviously I twisted a little better than that, but, and then it goes in anything, So I'll push everything out of the way to kind of make it more clear. But this is the power wire. So black goes with black, white goes with white. And see what I did here? The green screw, I kind of cut some of the black off to pigtail it off the ground screw. And then I wired them all together. It's easier that way. That way you're not messing with the screw, putting 3 wires. And so, if you can see that, make it more clear for you, the ground. And then white goes with the white and black goes with the black. And I'm about to pop it up. And then you have light. So I'm gonna use the same light bulbs that was in the other ones, just because they fit and they look good. And this is the finished product. You know, once you put them screws in like I showed you on the countertop, you tighten these up, and actually it tightened up perfectly. So, bam. And something as simple as that. Make your house come together. No, I'll do this light. And I'm not going to show you that because it shows you this. It's the same process. Unless I run into like a difficulty, I'll post it.